Game.
Welcome, everybody. It's episode 179. We have 3 of the 6 sponsors here. That's pretty good. Half of a government. That's we can control the populace. The only ones we're missing are Shane, Kelley, Small Town Xotics, Gray Family Snakes, and Eileen from Bravo Zulu Ball Pythons. Gray Family Snakes and Bravo Zulu Ball Pythons were 2 weeks ago, sort of end of year wrap up. And Shane is a busy man, so you cannot be pegged down. He's wily.
Rolling stone.
Right. So we'll do a Shane thing when he's ready. When he's like a flower when he fully blossoms. That's what I'm saying. Thanks to all the sponsors. And we're just doing a little end of year. Look, Lori's here. There she is. Awesome. We're just rounding it out. How's everybody doing? How was your holiday break?
Good.
How drunk are you currently?
Slightly.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a rough one. It was actually stayed up late, but not too late, but didn't drink a whole lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Justin, are you drunk?
No drinking for me.
Okay, good. I just keep assuming you're off hunting elk. Is that true or not?
That was not true this year.
Oh, dang it.
Have you been doing a lot
of overtime?
I've been busy. Yeah, lots of overtime. Probably working at 60 plus hours at the moment.
Oh, well, get that bread.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do. Right?
Yeah. I mean, the going's good.
Yep. Gotta suck it up.
Well, I'm glad you could come in and talk to us about what's going on with your year and the next year. So we're going to do it. We're going to go around in a little round robin. So let's start with what goals that you all had in 2024 that you achieved and you're really proud of and you want to highlight now. Andrew, do you have a goal?
Well, I had a lot of different goals. I guess the big goal that I did accomplish is I wanted to branch out and get into different species and stuff like that. So I did get some Stimsons and children's pythons, and I guess I had the leopard geckos last year, but this was their first year breeding, so kind of branched out a little bit. So that was a big goal that I had that I accomplished this year.
Did you want to do that just to hedge the other parts of your business?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I got the Stimson, the leopard geckos. Absolutely, that was a hedge. I just needed something else to have on my table. But I actually enjoy the Stimsons and the children's. They're really fun to work with, and they're little tiny mini retics. They have the craziest attitude. But once you calm them down, they're great. And they're just, and they have such a derpy look to them. I love them. So yeah.
I never worked with them.
Yeah, I think it's good, right? Even if it doesn't I don't know, if it makes your table look cooler, if it makes you look cooler, even if you don't make that much money, it's not about that. It's more about
and I'm not going wild with them. I think I have, so children's, I have 2.4 and I have a 1.3 of Stimsons. And I probably I don't even know if I'll pair all of them. If I can get 2 or 3 clutches this year, that'd be great. I'm not trying to go crazy with it.
Stagger them that way every year. You got a little something.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what about you? What were some goals that you hit this year?
2 things was with the Costa Ricans and the Tarahumans, getting them consistently to breed every other year. That was kind of a goal this year to accomplish that, and they both did that and went a little bit later in date wise, but still both gave me litters. And also, similar to Andrew, just acquiring a couple new species, just some things on the bucket list, like a female Angolan, raising up. I picked up a Texas Indigo for my garbage can, just like a male. I'm gonna raise him up and get a little custom cage for him for a little display animal. And then just some other things, just other small additions to add to the collection. And pretty much that was about it. Nothing too crazy for 24 at least.
Justin?
I guess my main goal for 24 was would be to consolidate the collection and hyper focus in on certain projects and not just be making snakes to make snakes. And it's worked out pretty good so far this year. I've moved some breeder females, some big stuff that just didn't make sense for projects, and I'm still consistently doing that and just trying to get it down to it's manageable now, but get it down to something where it's not going to be overwhelming if everything I had went. So the collection's gotten a little smaller, but I mean, not less powerful, I guess, but just smaller.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then, are there any? I guess go back to Andrew. Are any goals that you wanted to do in 2024 that you failed? And it could be anything, not just like acquisitions, but like.
Yeah, I mean, there's always failures on clutches that I wanted to have happen and absolutely didn't. I set kind of a lofty goal this year of getting over 20 clutches, and a lot of my first time girls just were not cooperating, and we didn't get there this year. So I think just ultrasounding last week, though, I should be over 20 clutches by probably May this year. So
that's good. Are you worried about where they go? Where 20 clutches go?
You know, I don't know. I've seen kind of a change in like the sales here. They're not quite as slow. I've been able to move pretty decent as far as what I have right now. Like I have a show in January, and I'm not even going to have full displays because I sold through everything I have. So, I mean, it's always in the back of my mind, but I'm not going to. I may not pair like some of my mediocre stuff, but I'm not going to hold back on the like major projects that I've invested a lot of time and money into, and I don't want to lose a year on those projects, so I'm going to pair them. And I've actually got a couple good wholesale people now that if I have the lower end stuff, I can just ship it out and
That's good. Yeah, I'm always like, I don't know, like we're in the sort of cycling down of how many people are producing, and then like it doesn't take that many females like sent to another collection, and they sort of get their schedule mismatched, and then they don't breed next year, and then those animals don't exist next year, and then it sort of all sort of evens out. I'm like, maybe we're doing that, but then I'm like,
a little bit.
I don't know.
A little bit.
I don't know. Thank you for the super chat, Andrew. I really appreciate it.
Andrew.
Shout out. Chris, what is a goal that you failed to achieve and maybe you're trying to work on for 2025?
I slacked on a few things. I slacked on my blood pythons. I didn't have any blood clutches for 24. None of my girls went, or my one went, but it was really odd. She only laid like a couple eggs, and I think that was just due to they were up to size and whatnot, but I just don't think I fed them quite enough. Like they're healthy, they're big and receptive, but I just think they need a little bit more reserves. I wasn't treating them like a blood python. So this year, hoping that'll change up for a little bit, plus an extra clutch. Other than that, I don't know. Just maybe I had a pair of longicatas that slugged out and a couple stillborns, so maybe work on that and tweak that a little bit. See if I can iron out what happened there. If she'll even go this year, so we'll see.
Yeah, they're so slight. I wonder if they even want to go like every year.
Yeah, I know my light phase didn't. My light phase skipped a year, which he's due this year. So, but the dark phase are the ones that slugged out this year, so we'll see. But I'll give them a chance. I have two females in that kind of project, so maybe one of them will go. But that was it. Nothing too major. I kind of slacked off through the year. I had other things going on. I got busy at certain times of the year. So I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but I felt like 10 to a dozen clutches shy of last year that I produced, or of 23. So, which was good, I think. I didn't have quite as many animals to move. But like Andrew said, another show or two, I'm going to be having empty cases, little bits here and there. And I haven't even hit Morph Market hard yet. So, there's a little bit thing. I mean, we had a show on Sunday, and it was pretty. I mean, I didn't. Not money wise, it wasn't crazy, but the foot track was good and people were buying stuff. A lot of pet stuff and slop, I guess you would call it. But it was going. Stuff was selling, you know what I mean?
The guy calls it like I sees it. So Justin, what about, was there a goal that maybe you wanted to achieve and you did not achieve, either breeding wise or social media or
I think about social media.
Didn't fill his elk tag.
I definitely had high hopes for 24 to be like the year where I get a bunch of really cool clutches. But it's kind of similar to Andrew. Like first time females didn't want to go, other females didn't go, and I was kind of thinking about I switched everything at the beginning of the year into this ARS rack, and I'm like starting to think maybe it's because of that. When I switched them in like December, January, I could have thrown a lot of females off with different temp gradients from the ARS rack compared to the melamine racks that they were in before. So I'm like, maybe that was my issue. But yeah, definitely. I think I only had 4 clutches all year. I had the potential to have 12 to 15, something like that. But this year's going good so far. I just ultrasounded a month ago, a bunch of females over 10. I got my new male in October. I bought a pastel inchy clown double head DG hypo breeder male. So I have my potential at acid DG clown, then some combo DG clown hypos. So it's not in by a baby, so it's like he's ready to go off. After quarantine, he started seeing girls, so I'm hoping that adds a little bit to my clutch count next year. I did have a really cool clutch at the end of the year, which is all up on Morph Market now, but my banana clown het pied clutch with a bunch of males. It was like 9 out of 12 eggs. There was nine males, but at least they're all female makers, so that's always a positive. And I got some really cool banana clown het pied female makers that I have up on Morph Market, and I got a couple that I kept for myself, and that one really worked out. Yeah, I mean, things are starting to come together. Just gotta. I'm patient, man. I just keep plugging away. I mean, when it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And I think when it does happen, I think in 25, it's gonna be a good 25. So I'm pretty optimistic, and I think the stuff that I'm gonna produce is gonna be cool enough that I won't have to worry about moving it or selling it. But I'm always I'm at every single show. I've never not sold out. I have stuff left over that I just recently got on Morph Market, but all that stuff will go to the show with me. And you do enough shows, you'll sell them.
How many clutches are you shooting for in 25?
Let me count. I got my little whiteboard up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
I'm scared. God, sorry. I have
anything over 5 scares Jessica.
Listen, I have 80 female ball pythons that could go if I wanted them to, and so
you went deep last year. I mean, 24, didn't you?
Oh, I put a bunch of them on the. I bred 40 and got 24 clutches.
I thought you were in the 20s.
Do I want to breed? I don't want to breed 80. I don't want to. That's a lie.
That seems overwhelming to me.
Yeah,
Especially if I
easy.
have 3 other species that have produced hundreds of things themselves. Anyway, so. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm losing it. Thanks for the membership gifted. Everybody thank Andrew. If you are talking in
Nice.
chat, you get free gifts. And Lisa did too. So
Wow.
she's just asking.
Oh.
I think you did it. Congratulations. If you got a free membership, you get access to the member live, which is
Spicy.
yeah, I don't know if it's good. I wouldn't call it good strictly, but I would call it spicy. Yeah, that's a good I don't know.
Entertaining.
Unfiltered, stupid thoughts.
Not suitable for work.
No.
That's right.
No, we talked about.
That's how it all
I won't
started.
even talk about what we talked about. But at the end, I just didn't know Garchomp could do that. You know what I mean? Like, who knew? Sorry.
I must have
Okay.
missed out on something.
Well, we kind of brought this up, but does anybody want to like re-envision what their goals are for social media next year? Like, do you want to do? Like I kind of slacked on Morph Market updating, so I'm like, I'm gonna do less shows and more Morph Market updating because these people don't respect my dumb snakes. You know, you're trying to just get rid of them at a show in some ways, but then I'm like, they don't care about my whatevers, so those ones need to go online. So I need more attention paid to online sales. Andrew, are you gonna do more? What about an
Yeah,
Instagram
so
post? Every once in
I'm
a while.
horrible at social media, and I'm kind of tapping a couple people to help me with it. Just because I'm horrible at it. I mean, you can look at my Instagram, and I maybe post a picture every month. Like it's bad. And
Mhm.
my Morph Market, I'm lucky if I update it every month and a half. So I do want to get a little better at those things, and I've got some people that are going to try to help me because I'm old and I don't do social media stuff
Mhm.
quite as much. So
Do you have like specific numbers? Like I want to post 3 times a week because you need to have
I
smart
do. I
goals.
want to set like almost like a schedule. Like I'll find something to post on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know if it's going to be those specific days, but I want to have like a set schedule where it's on my to-do list. That way it'll get done, and I post,
Mhm.
a set amount of times a week. Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Similar ideas. I definitely want to do more on social media. I have my wife that helps me out, but I gotta like stay on her, and like she's in the snake room
Yeah,
occasionally.
women,
But
you can't trust them.
well, that's the thing. Like, she's on top of that. She's doing catering for a company too, and then we also took over the social media and like looking for representatives for the Chipper and Cocoa to Go. I met with Davenport and Daytona in August, and we took over a little bit more responsibility on finding representatives and pushing the Cocoa. So we have access to
Gross.
email. That's it. There you go. Right there.
Gross.
We're coming, baby. You better watch out. So we're really, we opened up an IG with that. We're just trying to advertise more, and so she's really working on that. So it definitely needs to be more though. I definitely need to set some alarms or pre-schedule like 3 a week, 2 reels a week, or I can't do daily stuff just with the 2 kids. And if we decide to have another one soon, it's going to be even crazier. So a lot of things
Another one.
gotta adjust. Yeah, why not? Yeah,
I mean,
we're only here for a short
This
time.
moment sponsored by the Chipper.
The Chipper and Cocoa to Go premium coconut substrate.
You're
Hit
lucky
me up.
you're hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris
Cocoa Wars.
at Kansas a little bit, and he moved back to Kansas.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? A little bit, but I'm glad the Chipper still exists.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
we're coming hard in 25, Paul.
Oh.
We're really coming to get it. Yep.
All right, yeah. Well, you guys can have Cocoa Wars too, because that would actually be fun, honestly. Just like funny reels of you.
Next show we're gonna represent. It's gonna be like 10-foot tall Andrew and 5-foot tall Chris. We have our Cocoa Wars across the border in Canada.
You don't want me throwing 10-pound blocks of cocoa at people.
I don't want you throwing anything at me, man. You're
Right.
freaking huge.
Justin, what about your social media? Because I know you do your like high, your viral account, but I don't know if
Right.
you've been working on the other one as much.
No, yeah, I've been slacking pretty hard on that one. I have a few social media goals for this year. I think I'm finally going to rebrand my viral account and not have it associated with snakes.
And just do just animals? Or
I don't know.
anything?
Anything, funny videos, animals. I got to kind of pick a niche, I think, and kind of go for it. Like the animal videos do pretty good, but also the funny videos do really good on my channel. But yeah, I just want to rebrand it, not have it like be associated with the snakes. I'd also like to start working towards like a electrical consultation for snake room remodels or snake room remodels or building snake rooms, which I've built mine and it's been doing great. So I'm like, I have the knowledge.
I can vouch. He did great electrical for my my snake room. I got pictures of him crawling in my attic. It's hilarious.
Yes.
That would actually be a pretty good side hustle, because then you already know. You just need to like schedule the Zoom calls or whatever to talk.
Yeah, and then I can walk people through exactly what they would need to do electrically. I mean, and it would have to be like just a consultation type of thing. Because if you're a homeowner and you're going to build a room, you're allowed legally to do all the work yourself. So if I can just consult you and tell you exactly what you need to do, what wires need to get put together where, and like the requirements of the room, like that would be something I'd like to get associated with my page or whatever, with my brand.
Mm-hmm. Would you want like a separate business name for that, like another DBA?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far into it, but I thought it would be a decent idea getting it mixed in and just being more known for that instead of the viral video guy.
Does Instagram still have a creator fund? I know they kind of turned it back on. Did they turn it back off again?
It's still on, but it's like just a trickle. Like it's like nothing. It's pretty much nothing. And that's why I haven't been posting very much. It hasn't been worth it.
Why don't you put them on YouTube?
Just been working so much. I haven't had really any time to focus on very much social media, and the reaction reels are on through Instagram are really easy for me to create and repost quickly. And it's just been, I mean, that I talked to this guy the other day about it, and it's like, well, if it's not working out on Instagram, you just try a different platform. And I think I have accounts on all platforms. It's just I've kind of abandoned most of them. So it's like I'd have to.
Yeah, you haven't done a YouTube video in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time.
Yeah, that's something I've really noticed this year is like people that I know are still in the hobby, they just gave up on their channel or whatever. And then I'm like, it's fine. But I think there's like a motivation thing and a time thing. And then they're like, well, but that's how people take stair steps up the hobby, is somebody else learning off of your YouTube videos. So that's why I'm like, man, this channel will do more short form content that's educational, just because they don't know who we are. If they come into this live right now, this doesn't make any sense. What's going on? Chris is getting people pregnant. Andrew's drunk. There's no context here. We just need to be like, how do you sex your baby ball python? Like, start.
And the reach on that is way better too.
Yeah.
On those shorts, you'll just get in front of a whole different audience.
And this channel is monetized, and I don't get that many views on like my dumb reels, but I was doing it, and I get like, for a couple hundred views, I'll make like 10 cents. And I'm like, but I get 0 cents on Instagram. So I'm more and more like, Instagram's fine and it's good because you can message. But if everyone took all the content that's on Instagram that's free and put it on YouTube, even if it was just reels, you could monetize the reels instead of not. Because I never got invited into the Instagram creator program. Yeah, that's okay. All right, what is in the 2024 Holdback rack that you're all excited about? Andrew, you're first. That you produced yourself.
Or are we just talking like top pick?
Yeah, or maybe like favorite couple or
Yeah,
Probably my favorite holdback from this year was I made a GHI Enchi. I think it's got pastel in it too. Pastel Enchi GHI lavender het pied female, and it just looks crazy bright. It's like pink and it's got that really like pink from the
creamy.
Enchi lavender.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
Is there a
probably.
picture of it on your Instagram?
You know, I don't think there is. Maybe that'll be my picture of the week.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so hard. Like, and I've
Yeah.
done way too many shows, and I totally get it. But I'm like, oh no, you got to get back to like showing stuff off and like being
Yeah.
proud and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kathy, thanks for coming a new member. I think Lisa gifted it to
Look
you.
at that.
Love members. Thank you. I mean, there's a joke there, but I won't go for it. Chris,
Don't even go for it. Great.
what's your favorite holdback or backs?
There was a few. There was an acquired pair too that I'm pretty excited for. Ball python wise, there was a chocolate DG het hypo het clown that was produced in a joint pairing, so I'm pretty excited for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of what else this year that was pretty interesting. A few hypo het clown stuff like black pastel enchi vanilla enchi hypo vanilla het clown stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So a few things to help add to that project. Last couple of years I've been hitting that project pretty hard, either doing visual clown het hypos or visual hypo het clowns, and just adding all kinds of co-dominants, about 6 or 8 that I have floating around. So I'm excited for those. But the pair was I picked up a pair of a different bloodline Costa Ricans from the Dr. Warren Booth. And I don't know what bloodline they are. I don't know what their origins are, but it's
like the Irish flavor, like, because some of the stuff is from Ireland, so you would never even know.
Yeah, it could be like the European line. I think the black, which is similar to the leopard in the Sonorans, it's called the black, and it's apparently like a striped Costa Rican with a real dark complexion. They call it I forget what it was. It was a black. I have to ask him again what it was. But that and the T positive. So they're double het. I picked up a pair of them. So
are they pure? Let me put this. Pure.
He said they're pure Costa Rican, okay. And those two are like the only two morphs in the Costa Rican complex. You know, everything else is different locality, like leopards and the Sonoran and all that stuff. So, and I trust him. I trust Warren Booth's word that those are pure. You know, I've asked him multiple times, and he does do crosses as well. I know that, but he said these are pure, and they look different than mine that I got from Russo, but I mean, we're talking, it's a different locality. The ones from Russo are supposed to be like a San Isidro locality, and they look completely different from Warren's. Yeah. And they're double hets though too. So I don't know. Warren's are real dark. And
well, if you like get on iNaturalist and run around in Central America, even within a country, if you go up from the ocean, it's obviously like becomes montane and cold. So like the snakes change a lot. They're a lot bigger in some spots, and then smaller in other spots, and darker in some spots. So like,
yeah, it's pretty wild. So I'm excited to work with them, but I mean, we're talking, all right, 2029, we'll update you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's long term.
The slow roll.
All right,
yeah,
Justin,
right.
What was your favorite holdback?
So I had a cool clutch beginning of the year. It was Grim combo, double het clown pied stuff, and I kept that whole clutch.
Grim.
And then the last clutch of the year, I got it was banana clown het pied. So it's banana. I think banana cinnamon leopard clown het pied female that I got. I got up and grabbed her.
I think I seen pictures of that one when it hatched.
Yeah.
It was just, it was wicked.
Oh, there we go.
It's just that light just kills it. It's so bright. Okay.
There you go. Let's get better.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Hey, already lavender.
Very cool.
and then I bought one that I'm pretty stoked about. It's a Huffman Hypo Het Puzzle, female. I bought.
So do you think even though puzzle and pied aren't that cool, but they're like fine, are you going to put them together just because you already have a lot of genes in your...
Actually, so I was shaking my head no, but yeah, no, I am going to do puzzle pied eventually. Q-Ball Morphs, he produced a puzzle pied, and like I always thought the puzzle pie would just not be like something that it wouldn't do anything drastic, but this puzzle pie that he made is like the coolest freaking pie I've ever seen.
Hmm.
I don't know if you can bring up his account if he posts. I don't
Is
even
it
know if
on
he posted or
Instagram?
not.
He's
Yeah, it should
another
be on
person who
Instagram.
never posts anything. I don't know if you noticed.
I think he posted
Yeah.
that though. It was a couple months back.
Yeah, he did. I did see it somewhere. So
And that changed my mind. I wasn't going to do puzzle pied at first, but seeing that snake changed my mind.
Interesting. It was puzzle pied.
Yeah, a lot of people, I don't know, poo-poo the cryptic krypton pied, but I think they're different looking too, like more different than just the so like I think they're worth it. They're just subtle. So like, you know.
And the only thing I avoid in pied is anything that may make a high white snake. Like I just don't like them.
Lesser, spot nose, spider.
Yep.
Yeah, I try to avoid that stuff too. It's weird. I bred last year. I had a hypopide male, high white, like real high white, like the tip of his tail and like his head was patterned, and then the female was a I'd say 75 to 80% white pied female. So they're both super high white. Small clutch. I think I had 4 eggs, and every baby was. They had like no white on them. They maybe had a few little bit small ringers and high white on the sides, but they were the lowest white pieds that I've ever seen. It's wild.
My favorite. That is my absolute favorite.
They look so cool, but you know what? I've been sitting on them for like 4 months. Nobody wants them.
Oh, because they don't look like a pied.
Yeah, I auctioned one off and it went pretty good, but is that it?
I think that is it.
Okay, all right.
It's cool.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty neat. Looks brighter too.
It's way bright, and like in person, it's just.
It also looks feral. I don't know.
They're all feral.
Yeah.
Well, it's puzzle. Like,
it's pretty
come
cool.
on.
All right.
Oh, Jennifer has donated $20 to Chris's cripple fund because he's out of commission.
Wow, very nice.
Oh gosh, hopefully he's better soon, and then I can yell at him more instead of trying to be nice to him.
Don't lie. It's not slowing you down. You're still yelling.
I was nice to him for a while, but then I'm like, you know at the beginning of Parks and Rec when the guy like fell in the hole and his legs hurt and he's pretending to, he's like, oh, I don't need my cast off. I'm just like, is this what's happening? Am I being gaslit?
You get used to ringing the bell a little too often.
Yeah, he's like, I need more water, and I'm like, do you? He does need water. We love taking care of our husbands, don't we, everybody? And I told him that we were gonna reenact The Misery, and he's like, I've never read that book, but I'm like, but you probably watched the movie, and you know. All right, let's move on. Let's focus. Okay. We kind of went over this, so we'll skip it. But like favorite snakes that you acquired that we didn't talk about. Is there anything else? Anything comes to mind that you bought? You're like, man, this is going to change my collection when it breeds.
Yeah, I bought quite a bit of really high end stuff. And again, this is on me for not showing off stuff on my Instagram, but so I have a OD Scrambler Dreamsicle that I got, and then I got a pastel yellow belly leopard DG Krypton that I picked up, and then I'm actually waiting for a weather window to get a shipment. And now that the holidays are over, I'm kind of just holding off till weather permits. But I've actually got a G-Stripe Dreamsicle male coming.
Wow.
And I've got a 5-gene lace clown coming too.
Ooh.
So,
All right, sweet.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
And then you, Chris, anything else come to mind?
In early 23, like after I did my taxes for 22, like early 23, like February or so, I picked up about, I don't know, like 15 animals or so, just little odds and ends to add to the collection. Like I won something on auction. So then I went to that person's store and I looked at what they had and I kind of put a little group together. Or before I bid on it, I went to their store and saw what they had so that I had some leverage, on some things and whatnot. And I picked up a lot, like a couple double het hypo clown females, black exanthic I got into with a couple het girls from similar lineage. So we'll hopefully see if that, that black exanthic travels through or whatever it does,
They're making fun of ball python names in the chat. It's fine.
There's plenty to make fun of, I'll tell you that.
It's fine. It's all marketing, baby.
A couple double recessive, some ultra male clown stuff I got into. So yeah, it's a couple double hats, just stuff to build, for the future. Nothing will happen this year, I don't think, with some of the females, but next year should help hit some more double recessives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Justin, anything else?
No, just that breeder clown double het hypo DG male that I bought. Yeah, nothing. I haven't bought a whole lot of stuff. I'm just trying to keep it like building from within. I have a ton of really cool females that it's gonna.
Do you feel like that's too slow? Like looking around the market where you're like, oopsie daisy. Market's moving fast. I gotta buy a different male to keep up.
Honestly, no. I mean, I've spent enough. Like when I got my clown pied male. I mean, he's still plenty relevant for the projects I'm trying to make, and I don't feel like I need to go out and buy something to get ahead of the next guy. Like I'm just me personally. I'm just sticking to my projects, trying to make the cool stuff to keep, and then whatever's left over is what I sell. So it's
that's good. It's probably better.
I'm not in it. Like I don't. I'm in it to make my collection better, and then the money is like that comes from selling whatever the babies sell for is just a bonus, honestly.
It's great, those outlooks, because you have a full-time job, you have more than a full-time job, and like your bills get paid, and this is whatever the money that comes out of it is what it is. Your bills are getting paid. And I assume you too, Andrew, you work full-time too as well?
I have 2 full-time jobs.
Right. So yeah, so like I tried to resort to like 2 days a week working now, and then subsidize with the reptiles and the rats. So
that's cool.
It's neat looking at the different angles and like how you guys. It's I remember when it was like if they sell, I'll pay for themselves, and now it's like no, they need to move. Like let's keep it going.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like necessarily like an indictment of either way either, but I think a lot of people would be happier if they were working full time and had the amount of snakes that they could handle that was still fulfilling and fun, and that would be good. That's fine. That's a way to do it. And then some people want to go full time, so they're trying to scale. And then some people are like me who are just like lost.
They're like, does anyone want to buy them all?
Yeah. Well,
dude, if I could produce if I could produce enough stuff to make this a full-time thing, I would do it. If I could cover my bills, I just maybe just for me and my like the market I'm in, I just don't see it. You have to have a lot of snakes. And it's like as the market goes down, it's like you're gonna have even more.
Right, because it doesn't scale proportionately. You know what I mean? Like if you like the amount of, it's not just like the overhead on like more babies. It's also like it's even more labor too, and it's like multiplicative. So like you literally could not vend enough shows and stand around enough and explain to somebody long enough how to take care of a ball python to sell enough cheap ball pythons to ever
make it
catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, show. Speaking of show schedules, did you see Scott's show schedule for
He's
25? He's
crazy.
nuts. He's got a show in West Virginia, and then the next day he's doing one in York, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, you're nuts, bro. I mean, it's a little bit of a hike, but you're getting done one show, driving to the next one, setting up.
I tried to trick him into chilling out.
Nah, he's got too
after
many
the
animals.
auction. I know, but
He's
like
breeding everything.
like there's a problem where like you do so many shows. I've experienced this year. You do so many shows, you under promote online. And so like the sales that would have been easy online, you're so busy worrying about selling something for $20 at a show. You're sort of whatever, robbing Paul to pay.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, so like that's how it felt to me this year, and that's why I'm like, well, it'd be better to sit at home for some of these shows and not even bother setting up shop.
Yeah, but
money at home.
Yeah, but you got to look at the difference though too. Like I was talking to my wife about it. We were looking at it, I'm like, man, that's a busy schedule. And I'm like, but look, you got to think about the different lifestyles though too. You know what I mean? He's single, right? He doesn't have children.
He's got a woman.
Well, right, but he might not have children, and kids take up a lot of time. And if this is his sole thing, then okay, I see it. Then that's you go. So yeah.
I mean, he'll figure it out. And I know some show hounds that I think do pretty good, and they're happy, I guess.
That's pretty much all that Cue Ball does. Is he doesn't really do that much online sales. He's mainly sells at the shows. He has a lot.
I'm like 90% shows versus online.
Right,
I
but
do
you have
very
like
little online.
high quality
I'm
shows
probably like
and
50-50.
2 rinky dink ones. It's not 30.
Oh no, they're adding more. There's more shows this next year.
Is that
There's
good?
one in Vancouver.
Yeah, there's one in Vancouver in March now. And then I think he's adding one in like Central Oregon.
Yeah, Bend area.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's okay, because I don't think people are going to drive from Tacoma to Bend, Oregon. There's no like competition. Go ahead, Justin. I think you were.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying. I think having the shows in these new markets are good. Like even Hillsborough to East Multnomah County or the East Vancouver. Like they're not driving to Hillsborough to go to the show. Like if we can get in all these different communities that are big enough to support it, I think we'll reach a lot more people. More people are going to be willing to go check out the show.
Right. There for sure, people do not drive that far to go to a reptile show. That's my experience, unless they're like a dedicated enthusiast buyer.
Or unless it's a national show.
Right. So like even if the shows are 2 hours apart, you're seeing totally different people. It's just like I think people get fatigued as vendors running around hauling snakes all over the countryside. And then maybe you're like, I don't know, not as good at selling because you're like burnt out.
I think I got like one show in me a month, and that's about all I can do. Like anything more than that, and it's just like between work and then a show every month, it's a lot of prep work to get ready for the shows. And
that's about what I run, one a month.
Yeah,
sometimes they double up.
A lot of covering the costs for me is selling rodents, and it's if you're doing a show every 2 weeks, it's hard to fill a freezer with frozen rodents every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, and I don't even bother taking rodents to the shows. Between the cocoa and I'll do plants in the summertime here and there. Other than that, though, I don't do rodents. It's too much of a hassle. But
I don't know. The rodents carry me every show. Even if I have a bad snake show, the rats are always consistent.
Yep. Oh yeah, rats are consistent everywhere, man. All around the way.
Yep.
The only problem I've seen with rats is like if the promoters like aren't paying attention, they book 3 frozen rodent vendors into the same show with 1,000 people, then like all 3 of them suffer.
I mean, there's like the shows we do. I think there's pretty consistently 3 of us that are selling rodents. There's Glacier and then me, and I think Irresistibles is usually at the shows selling rodents too.
Mm-hmm. Don't you feel like more people, I mean, I haven't been to that market in a long time, go there to pick up rodents than, I'm trying to think of an equivalent show that you would know about.
Well, Spokane for sure. I did horrible with rodents.
That's
in
what. Okay,
Spokane.
so like a show where like I feel like people are like, I need rodents. I'm going to Puyallup.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get
Like
6 months worth.
so every time I go to a Pack Norse show,
Mm-hmm.
I sell a full freezer of rodents. I'm out of like 90% of the sizes by the end of the show. I went to Spokane and I sold 4 packs of rats.
Yeah, I feel like it's
I was
also
like,
like a
yeah.
local economy around rodents that you don't know about until you've vended it. And so
Yeah.
some shows I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But like one of the frozen rodent vendors at Dallas didn't make table.
Yeah.
That
So,
makes sense.
I mean, lesson learned, instead of taking a whole freezer of rodents over there, I'll pack more cocoa into the truck and
Yeah.
not have to tow a trailer. So,
All right. Is there any business management strategies that you want to implement in 2025 to make running sales better, different? Starting with Andrew.
oh,
You want to think about it? I can skip.
yeah, skip me for a minute.
All right,
I'm gonna
Chris,
try
on the
to
spot, hot
brew
spot.
on that one.
I think you're muted.
Sorry, my
Okay.
bad. It was
All
here
right,
running around. Good call. I definitely want to get more involved with getting stuff posted quicker so that it doesn't sit around here as long. But then again, it's tougher to do when you run combos like Trojan. Like you got to let it grow for like 3 months and let it color up for certain things to really be able to see it. So like it kind of makes it hard to get 10 meals in an animal and then turn it right around to sell it. But I don't know, just stay more on top of things. Considering the other species that I want to accomplish breeding this year, I can't be lackadaisical and just expect them to do it without me staying on top of them and creating certain things and manipulating them to do what I want them to do. So that's it, just staying on top of that pretty much. I mean, the ball pythons, they're going to do what they're going to do. I don't have to do much for them. I just have to feed them and put them together. The other species I really got to pay attention to. So, yeah.
Have you, for the other ones, you have an ultrasound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it for 2 years and I've used it 3 times.
Yeah, I'm always curious to ask people like, have they ultrasounded their water python, or just the weird stuff? Because they cycle very similarly to ball pythons. We just need to figure out what their feelings are. Because you can just pair them all winter. That's fine. But you can also wait until they're 15 millimeters like a ball python, and they actually like smell sexy once they hit follicles around that size.
They're ready to put out.
Yeah, they're hosed. I write that on their cards, by the way.
Ready to put out.
Hosed.
It's funny you say that because I was just talking. I separated my Argentines like a week ago and gave them a small meal, and I have a buddy's male and I have the female, and then I just picked up another male that's a Het T positive, and I'm gonna put the visual back in, but I didn't really see any action. So next step is throwing the normal in, but
sometimes they're like stealth.
Right,
boys,
but I always usually see that.
I've had
all
some
that.
secret ones that like
they
don't even like court, but somehow she's gravid.
Right,
so I'm just saying he's like a 2-chump pump.
Right, unless it's female. I didn't probe them, so that's the other thing. So we're kind of in the beginning process, but we got time. But I'm thinking about taking the ultrasound to my female. That's what was leading me to that, just to see, where she could be at if she's even developing, if we're just wasting our time.
Just try. And then if she's not, maybe like cool her down. Don't feed her for a couple weeks and then hit her with food really hard.
Yep. That's exactly where we're at right now. She's been down for a month. They've been pretty cool. I took them down to like 65 at night. So,
sorry, I'm almost going to sneeze. It's a
problem. Good. You're supposed to say purple elephant, right?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's good. Like paying attention to the stuff that needs more of your attention, I think is a good business management strategy for 2025.
I mean, yeah, especially between the Argentines, scrubs, and green trees. I think that's enough. 3 new things that we're going for. So,
what kind of scrubs do you have?
Marukan,
Marukis?
Southern Marukis. Yeah, that's what they were labeled as to me. Captive hatched imports. I got them as like sub juvies, and they're still on the smaller side, but I think they have the age. So we're gonna see what happens this year.
All right. Well, good luck. I hear it's hard, but possible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Anything's possible. I'll give it a try. It took me 3 years to get the Tarahumars to go, and they were 10 years old. So, I mean, it takes time sometimes.
Yeah. I have a, what is she now? I don't know, 13, 11-year-old boa. I haven't gotten a clutch out of or litter out of yet.
Yeah. Boa's
like,
a humble you. Boa's a
Yeah.
humble you real quick.
So I should probably work on that. Justin, how do you what business management strategies are you going to implement this year?
So I think I'm going to be a little bit better about tracking and in my husbandry program that I run. Just better at as stuff's born, create the label, not procrastinate, don't put it off. So I'm going to try and utilize the husbandry program, Reptile scan that I use, and see if that'll. I produced so little this year. Like it was easy to just keep it in my head what I had. If I get to a point where I'm producing a lot, I want to have the system that I'm using like functional. So I'm going to do some more testing with labels and stuff with that program, and just utilize that more this year.
If four clutches, you can get away with slacking, but if you hit your 17, you're not gonna be able to get away with slack, especially if they're like back to back. Like June through July, you're gonna hit all 15.
Right. All right, Andrew, you had time.
Yeah. So a lot of mirrored stuff that they said better about, inputting stuff into my husbandry pro. I'm going to be working on probably adding one more species this year. Already kind of in the works. And then the big thing I'm going to push for is marketing the Go for Cocoa a lot heavier.
You get a Go for Cocoa trebuchet and then launch it at the chipper.
I should. I've been working the last, month or so, and my trebuchet is I'm going to get it on Amazon, so it'll be easily order,
drop ship
to you. Well, it's not even drop shipped. I'll still be shipping it, but it'll be available with Prime delivery. So,
but you'll still be shipping it? It's not FBA?
Yeah, so the way they have a program where I will deliver it to like UPS or FedEx, and they take it to the I don't know their end of the service, but basically they'll deliver it to the Amazon warehouse, and then it gets put on an Amazon truck, and it gets free Prime delivery. But we've been working on that for a while. It's just kind of a slow process because Go for Cocoa is a European country or company, and got to get the permissions to list it online and everything like that. So,
are you in charge of that?
I am not. I'm not Jean-Francois.
Well, I mean, like in charge of the USA Amazon.
I've been in talks with them, and I'm going to hopefully be that guy.
All right. There you go. So that's cool. You don't have to talk about them specifically, but if you had a negative experience in 2024, what do you want to do in 2025 to mediate that so you don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore? It could be anything, anywhere. But if you're like, man, I see that's a problem, I'm solving it this year.
Well, it's not really reptile related, but I'm never selling to a pet rat person ever again in my life. I will never sell a pet rat ever. It's been an absolute nightmare, and decided that it's just, the juice is not worth the squeeze on that. Like, I don't care if I can sell a rat for $30 because it's got all these special genetics. It's just not worth the trouble.
Was
Do we have
did you have
time
like
for
a
this
specific
story?
type? Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Well, it's just like, you sell a pet rat at a show and it's deeply discounted, and, I'm selling them at feeder prices, and then I get calls 9 months later, hey, my rat passed away. What are you going to do about it? And I'm like,
What?
the rat. So,
Did you freeze it? Bring it back and we'll swap it out.
no,
Yeah.
we're not doing. Like, the lady literally wanted me to meet her 45 minutes away to deliver a new rat, and I was like, not happening,
No.
lady. So
Unless
I've
you're
just
buying a ball
decided,
python with it.
yeah, I've just decided pet rats are not for me. I'll
Was
let
it one of
somebody
your
else do that.
regular rats just sold as a,
No.
wean, or was it like a dwarf rat or whatever?
No, I have some like desirable genetics in my feeders. I've got the Martins, and I've got like hairless rats, and I've got like all kinds of weird stuff, and I just it's not worth it for me,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I'll
I
leave
feel that
to
way
the
about
rat
snakes
breeders.
that are like $50 and under. A lot of times, where I'm like, this could be a fine transaction. It also could be my worst nightmare. It just depends on what happens when you get home.
And that's another thing I'm going to change too. As far as like, I have a couple wholesalers, and I've eliminated one of them I used to use because I kind of have an agreement now with a wholesaler. If I wholesale you a bunch of animals for dirt cheap, don't resell them and give people my name. Like, those customers are your problem now. Like, I'm not trying to set up people's enclosures for them because I wholesaled you a snake for $20.
Yeah, no, he makes that extra money on that, so he just to deal with the customers. That's how it is.
So I've made it very clear that if I wholesale you animals, I don't deal with the back end customer on that deal.
Don't you think that's logical?
Yes.
It is very logical, but a lot of times you have to explain things you would think are logical to people. Like, so that's another thing that's changing in 2025.
That's good. All right, Chris, is there anything you want to change that was maybe negative, but now you're going to fix it?
I'm not just my lack of attention to detail for certain things. I just can't relax as much as I did last year with what I have to accomplish this year. Last year I didn't have certain species I was working with, so it was just an easier year. But this year, it's going to be a little bit harder. But no, that's about it. Nothing really stands out. It was pretty easy, floating year, steady.
Are you going to do like the same number of shows? Changed it somehow.
No, it's about one a month. There's a new show that was added to the circuit. That's on Sundays, and it's really close to home. But keeping the same thing. It's about one show a month. We got like 3 or 4, and they're all local, all one-day shows. I have no real road bills, maybe some gas, but nothing, no hotel, no real big meals, maybe lunches here and there. So it really helps the end number on making a profit on these little shows, even if it is a couple $100, everybody says, oh, it's to go to meet the people and talk to them, but it is. I meet different people at every show, and they're local people. So like, I met 2 people. One guy might be a new rat sales. He might be buying 25 rats a week from me. Cool. That's $200 a month. I met another guy that might be picking up a couple babies at wholesale. Cool. That's another little hookup. So, I might only made $500 at the show, but I got 2 leads on future business transactions, stuff like that. So one a month is good with how I like to travel with the 2 kids. If we have a third on the way, my hunting.
How many children are you going to have total?
If we decide to have another one, 3.
Baker's dozen.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I have an older daughter, but now 4, 2, and then whenever the other one
All
pops.
right. Well, good luck. Godspeed. You know.
Yeah, one show a month is good. That and like the national doing the Tinley, that's good for October, and that's in hunting season. So it gets hectic, but that's what we do from August to Christmas. It's crazy.
Justin.
I want to go hunting with Chris.
Yeah, bud.
You got
It
a spot?
starts around October. We don't stop until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that sounds like fun, man. I'll have to come out there. You're in the Northeast, right?
Yeah, yep, Pennsylvania. We got some property up in state Pennsylvania, but I went on a bear hunt in North Carolina. I got my first bear. Finally.
what?
Yeah, it was
Yay.
it was a little guy, but it was bear. It tastes good.
Yeah, bear's a bear. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty fun.
All right. So you want to go hunting? That's the negative experience you want to meet.
Yeah.
2025.
So I've been thinking about it. The negative experience, I think, is my lack of connection with my customers. I think would be the biggest thing. I want to figure a way to start like an emailer list or some way to keep in close contact with people. So I don't have to I don't have to reach out individually to people, be like, hey, I have this available. If I can just send out a e-letter or newsletter or whatever, and put a list in front of people's eyes of previous customers, and try and capitalize that on a little bit. And yeah, I think that's about it. And I'm still on the look to add a couple of new species. Just can't find the right, like on the gray banded king snakes. I've been actively looking. Can't find the one that looks how I want it to look.
What are you looking for?
You might need to go on Fauna or something and find an old guy.
Are you looking for like a high orange, low orange? No.
So like a gray orange banded, but with no blacks. Just like a
no black.
Yeah, continuous orange stripe.
I think he wants a hypo. The one he showed me a picture of looks hypo to me.
You want the gray though, right?
Yeah, like the gray and orange banded.
Okay.
Yeah. All the ones I
find
find
like a
have
Blair's face, but like hypo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a Texas locality. I have the picture of it with the locality on it, but it was found in a certain area.
DM me that info if that's the specific animal you're looking for, because I'm in a Colubrid chat where somebody might be working with something like that or similar.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, actually.
I can look it up.
I'll send that to you after the show.
And also like with like a suggestion that I'm working on with reaching out to people and like return customers. Every time you ship a snake, you're supposed to get their email, right?
Yeah, I have.
So you have track of that.
On my red line, or
I have a stack of papers. Every time I ship a snake, I have the hub it went to, the people's name, their phone number, and their email address. I need to put it in basically an email chain and make a master list of availability and say, hey, I'm going to be that pain in the guy that's going to send you an availability list every month. Subject off if you don't want it, or maybe do it every quarter.
I don't even think it's a pain, dude. Because I mean, I'm on a couple of email lists or whatever, and it's kind of nice just to be able to look through and see what they got. And I mean, I think they're worthwhile. I think it'd definitely be worth your time.
Absolutely.
Jennifer recommends Jason Nelson if you want to have a contact to maybe ask about it. Yeah, I think that's something I want to work on more. Is because all like social media platforms, obviously, you don't own the content; they own you. You're renting your space. So I have a website. I want it to be better. I still go back and forth. Like, do I want to sell off of my website? Because it's problems with chargebacks if you use the shop feature for live animals, because they don't care. But
they don't protect you.
Morph Market's a little troubled. Let's put it that way. So sometimes I'm like, I don't necessarily want to compete here. I want to compete somewhere else. But then like my shows are okay, but they're all far away from me. So my costs are higher. So I've been thinking about things. And Lisa brought this up, is like, what if we did, instead of auctions, we just did showcases? Like, this is all of, and you could buy it at that moment if you want or not. But like, this is all of Andrew's available snakes right now in the light box. And it's just fun. And maybe the prices are up. They're not. We can sell on here, but it's not an auction. It's just like, this is the price. Here's
That'd be
20
cool.
of them.
Or like this. It's on Morph Market now for $200. This right now, this time only $150 or
Right.
whatever the seller chooses they
So,
want to do.
so then it's not an auction. People don't need to be there. The price lasts until the end of the weekend, but then we could do everything we did on an auction. But people don't need to be there for it to like count necessarily.
Mhm.
I feel like that might be better for 20.
You could
I'd
re-upload
be
that,
interested
right?
in trying
As like,
that sounds actually. The thing with auctions is unless like there's enough people right there with cash at that moment, like
Mhm. Right.
it's been pretty brutal.
Yeah,
Even
it's
yeah,
definitely
Amber's there drunk. You're gonna do all right.
Even if
definitely
they
like-
are, though, they're so specific right now.
Yeah, and then but maybe it's just still like a show off thing. Like you show off your
save
holdback,
the video and
show
turn
off,
it into like long form content and
Right.
take clips off of it for shorts.
and then we wouldn't necessarily
You do a
have
lot
to
with
put
it.
everything on Morph Market or hustle it off at a show or whatever because
And there wouldn't be a ton of dead air. It would just be snake to snake. Get 30 seconds each snake. You just go through the stuff that you're gonna
Right.
That's
and
for
just be
sale.
one
Yeah.
person. Like these are all Andrew snakes. This is all
Yeah.
Chris's snakes. These are
You
all
could
Justin's.
do it like Snake QVC.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
literally be that.
Do
Yeah,
it.
talk about it.
Make
People
a
have
set.
questions, a minute and a half or something, 2 minutes,
Mhm.
just a quick little chat. Frozen
Right.
thaw, has it been
And I know people
bred,
do like
blah, blah,
show
blah.
off egg cutting things already, but this
Mhm.
is explicitly like, I'm trying to sell these snakes. This is
Yeah.
me talking about them real quick. So I don't have to take pictures. If you're in this community, we already know you're cool. This is the like cool guy's sale price for the weekend, which is like $50 off or whatever. And then we just keep doing that. Because like who do I like Palumbo? Half of his snakes sell off of his YouTube videos.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Listen,
I don't know how he sells anything.
well, he's out of ball pythons at this point, so it doesn't really count. But for his like boas and stuff, I feel like people just message him, and I'm like, why don't they message me? Well, it's because I don't do enough videos. That's why.
You got to send him the wrong boa. That's why.
Was this a personal story or?
Not for me.
Yeah,
I knew a
I
guy.
just think he's like busy. Got a lot of
Oh,
snakes.
absolutely.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
doesn't he make? He makes all his money off of his muscle crap.
Right, he's just having fun.
He's got like a Mexican dude running his snake room.
Exactly.
He just comes in and looks around.
That's what I need.
Hey, there's nothing
Hey.
wrong with that at all.
Listen.
I need somebody to clean my rats.
That's what I'm saying.
I tell you
Rat
what, yeah,
cleaner.
15, 20 hours a week, man. I'll pay you.
You know, once I get a little bigger, that's going to be the first employee I hire. Rat cleaning.
God, I hate rats.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll clean snake cages all day. I
Yeah,
don't care.
for sure.
That's the hardest position to fill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the most time consuming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you ever think
Yeah.
of like the long-term consequences of like inhaling small particulates?
I wear a whole. I mean, it protects you, but not 100%. But I wear a whole whole face
I don't
cartridge,
clean rats.
carbon filter.
You're
That's how I get away with that.
So you're so
know.
healthy.
Yeah, I think about it a lot. I'm like, I don't know
Rat
what to do
lung.
here.
Well, rat lung.
Well, there's some people that are interested. I just think it would solve the like problem of the auctions where like people aren't showing up at the time with the money, but we can still like promote the animals that you want to promote when you want to promote them, and it's still like biosecure because these are just in your light box still having fun, and it's low pressure because it's not an auction. It's just this is what it is and it's cool.
Mhm.
Do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
That's my dream a little bit for this year. And then they don't have to be long and they don't have to be 2 minutes. It could just be sort of free flowing, just like fun enough though, like fast enough that there's always something coming out that looks cool.
I really like your idea of species topics too. Like a 5-8 minute clip of a species particular, somebody talking about it, showing it off, and just kind of, dropping everything you need to know to help keep that animal healthy.
Yeah.
I like those.
I just need more B-roll.
Yeah, for sure.
Those ones I didn't. I'm just like, Josh, talk about snakes real quick, and he's like, okay.
It'd be nice to do it at a show where the people have them there at the table. That would be like the best scenario, if you can
Right,
snatch
and
the
I
relay
really
for
shouldn't be
5 minutes.
vending. Like, I'd like to this year do less vending and more going to the show to find the people.
Yeah.
To ask them about their weirdo. Like, I saw these blue praying mantises at one show, and I'm like, I need to ask that bitch about blue praying mantises.
Those are the short little Chinese guy, man. Usually they have all the cool bugs, man.
Listen, that shit is fire. And I was like, I don't know about that.
There's this guy in Tinley that has these beetles that are like the size of a softball, and they're the big horned dung beetle or whatever they are.
Okay.
Like, they're wild. He's always there.
Is that a good business? Don't they pupate for like 2 years or something?
Yeah, he shows you like how to do it and shows you the process. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's
yeah, it does like 8 months or something. It's this big fat worm in a container.
Them and dig them up.
Yep,
it's crazy. I mean, it's cool. Good for them. Everybody needs a hobby. That's one of them. All right, last question. What events in 2024, maybe like people getting out of the hobby, people getting into the hobby, price changes, new morphs, new genetic tests, changed your vibes for 2024 and like how you're going to move on from those events? So these could be bad or good, but something you're like, wow, that person got out. Damn. Or whatever.
I don't have anyone that like got out that really changed what I want to do, but just seeing some of the combos, like seeing a lot of the scrambler stuff came out this year, like that is going to be one of my main focuses, is adding more scrambler into new combos. Kind of everyone's doing a lot of the same stuff right now, and I kind of want to put it into some different genes. So just seeing some of the combos that come out, I sold off after seeing, Puzzle Clown. I sold all my Puzzle Clown stuff. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I could think of that really other people did that affected my 2024.
It's hard to remember because time slips together.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything, Chris?
I don't think so. Anything that changed for the good or for the bad? Not necessarily. No. What I could think of.
I'm gonna go with auctions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a kick in
good
the
or
nose.
bad?
For the worse, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
overall, they get hurt projects big time. Yeah. Certain individuals, I think, hurt projects. I don't think necessarily it was the auctions in general. I think people abuse the auctions, and that's what hurt certain projects.
There was a solid month or two when a certain company was going out of business, where they were
three companies were dumping shit.
Yeah, dumping it for cheap, and like on triple recessive projects, dumping stuff for your males for $200 or $250, and it just, that was rough to see.
Oh, for sure.
But no, my hope is that was just because that business but it affected a lot of the projects a lot. So it's like hopefully
there seems to be like
out.
a 3 to 6 month delay. Like if it goes on auction and enough of them go on auction, the retail price matches it within 3 months because they're like, fuck it, I guess I can't sell it, but I know that one guy sold it for 500, so mine will be 600. Like they'll try a little bit of a retail premium, but they sort of, I don't know. I wish, there's a secret Morph Market Discord. I wish they would ask people to go in there that don't necessarily agree with whatever's going on, and they can just talk about it instead of whatever is happening in the Discord currently. And maybe there's already like multiple opinions, but to me, he shouldn't allow people to buy extra slots.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
No, he turned it back on. You could buy more.
Did?
Yes.
You're limited to 10.
But,
And a
but
month.
you could kill an entire
Well,
project.
oh,
with
yeah.
10.
Absolutely. I'm not denying that,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're back there.
And I think a lot of the species, like people barely put like corn snakes on auction because corn snakes aren't worth anything to begin with. So why sell it for $10? So like,
Yeah.
there's no incentive to do that unless you're trying to auction a corn snake lot. So people have already learned not to do it. It's just like when are ball python people going to learn not to auction stuff that they still value?
They're not. There's too many.
Okay.
Too many. I don't think they're going to learn.
Okay. And sometimes things go for more than their retail value on auction, which I think confuses people, but most things don't. Because people stop when they think it's a good deal. And it's not special anymore to get a good deal because everything's a good deal. Right?
The pastel, what was it? Pastel Stranger Het Clown that wasn't Stranger that went for $400 the other day.
Yeah, that actually sold for that much.
Yeah. It was like
They did
$430 or something like that, but it
Did that get refunded?
I don't know. It absolutely didn't have Stranger in it though. It was, I think, literally a pastel Het Clown breeder female. 400. I was like,
$400.
hey, if you want to spend 400 on that, I got a whole bunch of stuff I'll sell you.
Yeah,
for,
I got two for you.
Well, that's like the problem we're having now is like the people who are buying stuff largely are new people, like as always, because they're building their collections, but they're building it in like this context where they don't know what's valuable because like Morph Market doesn't show you what's valuable anymore because it's all like hidden or it's sold on sale, but not this. And so people are buying stuff. I don't even know if they know what they're buying.
Well, yeah, not even if they don't know the value, but like Andrew said, it's a pastel. Like they're going to think that they have a pastel stranger. They're going to breed that to this and that, and they're going to be like, "Oh, look at these babies. What do I have?" Like they're not going to have any idea what they have. There's something special. There's something in there. There's got to be something going on with this clutch. Yeah. No,
that's
normal.
It looks a little different. It's got to be Stranger.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think 2025 will be. Sometimes I'm like, it's going to be better because I feel like we're trending better. But then I get paranoid, and I'm like, I don't ever want to hurt anybody by being like, yeah, breed all of your slop this year and have 700 babies.
Not yet.
Don't do that yet, please.
No. We still got a couple of years, I think, for that.
My showcase is going to take 6 hours, Jessica.
No. Because I've been like trying to, put on the old chapstick and seduce like different pet stores, and even them, they're like weak. I was like, I will give you these snakes for like a good deal. Just message me in a couple months when you sell out. I'm like, I ain't sold out. I'm like, what? I sold it to you for $20. You can't sell out of like snakes for $60 in 6 weeks. And so like everybody's kind of weak. So
pet stores aren't trying.
What?
Pet stores don't try. Like I got one up from me that I've been hounding for years. I have animals. I can fill your store. We can work on consignment. I can come in once a week, feed them. Like you just got to provide the storefront and the foot traffic. And they're just like, oh, well, we have a guy. 3 months go by. Oh, well, we have somebody redoing it. 3 months go by. Nothing. Just the same old dried up bearded dragon and fucking stupid hermit crabs and, a leopard gecko shed skin on it. Same shit. And they don't care. They make so much money on the other crap. I think they don't care about their live animals anymore, especially the poor reptiles.
Right. It's just been very weird. Like, because I thought I was giving them good deals, and I'm like, message me when you're ready. And they're like, I'm not ready. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, and so then I'm like, maybe you have to like message them before they sell out so they don't buy it from somebody else before then. So that's been like not the most challenging thing ever, but like
I think the biggest struggle with pet stores, because I own part of my rat breeding stuff that we supply pet stores, is being able to supply them everything at once instead of just being the reptile guy, be the reptile guy, the bedding guy, the insect guy. They want to be able to get everything at once.
One source.
That's the biggest issue with trying to go in and be like, hey, buy these snakes from me. Well, I already get snakes from the guy who sells me the bugs and the bedding and everything else for
That
my
is so
whole
weird.
reptile thing.
Because I worked at Petco, we had like 15 vendors. Like each one would handle 6 SKUs or whatever. So it's interesting that a mom and pop would want all in one.
Yeah,
And you think about pop
my
would want something that's more hometown too. You know what I mean? Like they had the Petcos and stuff like that. Probably want like the Wilbanks or somebody like that supplying them. But you know, mom and pops, you would think.
Does your pet
in the
store
community.
buy from like Cal Zoo or whatever?
No, they buy
Or
everything.
Northwest Zoological?
No, they buy everything directly through us.
So you give everything to your pet store?
Yeah,
Even
my
stuff
buddy,
you can't-
my buddy owns. So the guy invested in the rats. He owns a reptile supply company, and he has wholesale accounts with everybody, and he
Oh, okay.
buys in bulk and then resells.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this has been the perennial problem. Like, I don't necessarily want to wholesale snakes to the guy at the show either. Like, I would much rather wholesale snakes to someone who's selling to people that I can't reach, which would be a pet store. You know,
Right.
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
be
and the
here.
thing is, just putting in the time to actually call every pet store. Like that's kind of what I'm trying to do in my area is call all the pet stores, have a product list ready, and be like, hey, can I get the buyer's email? I actually heard that. I was listening to, I think it was I forget which podcast, but there was a guy on there and he was talking about how he gets his sales to pet stores and he calls as many as it takes until he gets a yes, and then he'll overnight ship snakes to pet stores. And we just call every single one and ask for the purchasing manager's email and send them your list. And if they see stuff they like, they might hit you up. You just got to get in front of enough eyes.
Yeah. I don't know. We can't all do that because there's not enough pet stores in the whole country. But you should call some. Let's put it that way. I just don't. There's not enough pet stores in the whole country, especially in the Pacific Northwest. Like I called a bunch of them once they already had a relationship with a corn snake breeder. They didn't want another one.
Yeah.
You know.
But if you can come in and offer them corn snakes and this and that and this and this and this, then they're more likely, as long as you're beating the other person's prices, to bring you on.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a lot of bird breeders around here, which sounds really random. They have like a bird courier service that like services all the Texas pet stores. I'm like, and then so like the pet stores don't have enough snakes. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? There's like a bird cartel. So I'm like, we need to get into the snake cartel, I guess. Bring snakes up the East Coast. Which I still think is something that we could have had happen, is a pet delivery service for high-end snakes that's driven and not FedExed. I'm still waiting for somebody to make that their side business. Get like a temperature-controlled cargo van.
There was somebody on Fauna doing that like a year and a half ago, posting ads like, hey, I'm making a stop in here. If you're anywhere in between, like going to here and here and transporting this and that, but I don't know if it took off or how it worked out.
Yeah, it might have. It probably can't be like a bunny hop system. I almost think it has to be like, I have a $30,000 pair of basins. Please deliver it to California. I will give you $1,000 or whatever like the rate is. Like a high end, and there's nothing else in there, so there's no like biosecurity risk. I want to see a business like that. White glove. Bougie.
Do you think there's enough demand for that?
I don't know if it could be done with how expensive traveling is and whatnot.
Yeah. What if you had an electric fan and you slept in it?
Just ship it through Morph Market for $40. No insurance over Christmas. You're all right.
One of a kind, or like, like big rare things that are expensive, like ground boas. What if you want an adult female ground boa? Wouldn't you rather go drive and get it?
Oh yeah, something like that weighs 15 pounds. You have to delta dash it, yeah.
Or you could put it in a carrier.
Delta dash, that's at least $150, and depending on where you're going. That's you could drive 800,000 miles on that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. There's a lot of like complementary businesses that I want to see more of this year. So that would be good. Because we don't all need to breed infinity snakes. Some of us could probably consult for electricity stuff, right? All right, I think we did it. Any other thoughts?
One thought. I have a big accomplishment from 2024. I got first place in the Wolfpack Fantasy Football League this year.
We're not fucking talking about that.
4th seed, won the championship. What up?
Big
Cash out
congrats.
at Stoneage.
Nice.
Was there
Don't forget.
what was the cash pool?
Oh, it was only 6, so it was a $20 buy-in.
Oh, well, you got a nice dinner out of it.
There
Get
you
some
go.
naked coffee. Treat yourself.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Andrew said
paying
he
him
was
in
going to send me a pastel.
Well, thanks for coming on, everybody. I'm glad everybody had a good year and is still going to be here this
Yeah.
year. You know.
Oh yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Hell
Keep torturing us.
Hopefully, my deadpan delivery will keep you coming back for even more.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I watch my own videos. I'm like, God, what a bitch! Like, I can't even imagine anybody tolerating that. When I realize I'm dead inside and I can share that with the world, actually, so it's pretty good.
And we're all fine with that.
Fuck. All right, bye, everybody. I'll see you. The Member Live. I don't know when it is. It's going to be the Stonk Report. But we might be going to the movies on Saturday, so now I don't know when to schedule it. So that would be Sunday. I don't know. All right, we'll figure it out. Bye.
Peace.